Hello, I'd like to cover 5 key factors in business communication as it relates to the report. And you can see the 5 key factors on your screen. The core question is, how do you execute the essentials? And these are the 5 essentials of business communication. But before I get into detail, I want you to know that I've been working on this virtual report for my entire 6 years. And I change it, adapt it based on feedback every semester. But I hit a major moment last semester. You can see on your screen 6 aha moments. Take a moment to look. I have given directions and even said where the page breaks would be, because I had students that just had endless writing without pagination, with breaks. I have attempted to develop a maximum online resource kit for you with many direct links. It's really up to you to use those resources. If you have a teammate that doesn't show up at your meetings, doesn't produce his or her work on time or at all, contact me and you can fire him or her. The result will be a 0 on this paper. I've created many more examples for you and resources. You have a midway opportunity to send me the report for me to review it and send you feedback. I generally send feedback through a video looking at your paper. And now, in the worksheet that you'll be looking at, you will see that I provide you the questions and the terms to define. And I might add, because this course has a number of military individuals, I've added a question at the end for the paper directly relating to the concerns of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, etc. Let's also face that many people, and I read it on Yellow Dig, don't like virtual team reports. Well, I want you to know that in my experience, when you move up, you will work on virtual teams. Take a look at this quotation from Harvard Business Review from 2014. The fact is, working virtually is here and now. And I would venture to say that some of you are doing or have done that type of work. Expect it once you get your degree that you're going to be doing it. I want to try to make it as easy as possible and give you insights. So, we're rolling out this major report this week. Week 6, you can send me the draft submission. It'll be on the left-hand menu of the website. And then revise it again and send it to me for final grading. So, if you have questions, ask them early. What I do with the questions is I reply to all as a announcement/email, and then I place that information for the second go-round well, not the second, but again, the revised go-round for the following semester. All right. Let's look at the first issue of being professional and how it relates to this writing. Being professional can mean a lot of different things. Dressing, where do you work? For example. But now we're looking about being professional in writing. Take a look at this direction given for the research method used in the report section of your report. This was one I developed from last semester, the aha moment. And I provide you resources from the library on how to evaluate sources. They call them the 5 W's. Or what they call crap. Attending to this is being professional. Also being professional in today's world is understanding some of the virtual tools that you can use to meet. The papers that receive the lowest grades inevitably are the teams that decided simply to text one another. That won't work. A new tool is Slack, and I'll be putting out a separate video about that meeting tool that I learned about during break from both my niece and my nephew. Their businesses use it. So there's some capture of the concept of being professional in your writing. You want to be very clear in your writing. That is, have you used good headings to set up an easy read for the receiver of this information? Does your visual support have the correct APA formatting? Heading, data visualization is really, really important. It's, a picture tells 1,000 words. Well, that's what it does in business. Headings in a report are very critical. For example, they're no different than a newspaper. Here are the headings or the sections of the report itself. I have emphasized number 8, the findings section of your research, is the most critical, and it's the longest, and it must have subsections. For example, take a look at the Shell Sustainability Report of 2016. Notice how it has a title and uses headings. Notice the headings are in bold. The purpose of a heading is to make the reading easier, not to complicate life. Or another example. The reader knows exactly what these 2 paragraphs are about. And data visualization can be something very simple, or you can get something, of course, more complicated. In addition, I've told you where to put the page break in the paper. Why? Last semester I had students that didn't put page breaks anywhere. And it was endless struggle. Okay, we've looked at the first 2. Let's go to what we mean by being concise in the reading. Business generally, and you may already know this because if you're dealing with email or your own writing or reading, is short. It isn't an overwhelming number of words. Why? You know as well as I that your manager may be too busy to read anything more than, let's say, the, quote, executive summary, the first paragraph of any email, whether you call it that or not. And let's move in. Of course, it must be evidence-driven. More for that later. For example, using the APA manual is how academics use evidence. I've even provided you various links, and I've given you an example of a very common item. Now, let's look at the final item. Writing must be persuasive. And it's persuasive if you hit all the title, all the stuff I've said before. Typos are not professional. If I don't understand what you're talking about, you're not clear. If you have paragraphs, when you have 5 paragraphs when 1 paragraph would do, that's not being concise. Well, I hope this 11-minute video has given you some insight into the elements of business communication for this report.